Dear future self, you stress me out.
I write this in a time of life that is so devastating to watch.
I think that's why I'm so stressed to do all of the things at once, because I don't see much of a future ahead.
What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that.
Hey godly girls,
And guys,
this podcast is for God, from us, and to you.
you're listening to XOXO Godly Girls. We're just two best friends who like to talk and love Jesus.
Tune in every Friday for new episodes wherever you stream podcasts.
We're excited to grow with you in this faith journey.
Are you ready?
Hey, Godly Girls. Welcome back to the podcast. My name's Abby.
My name is Tori.
And if you're new here, we're just girls, best friends, been best friends for a long time now. I don't even know.
Every year it's our 10-year friendship anniversary.
I think this is our actual 10 year.
I feel like it's got to be more than that.
I feel like it's got to be 20, but we're only like 23 and 24, so I don't know. Someone do the math for us.
When this comes out, I'll be 24. It will be like the week of my birthday
That's
or after.
crazy. That's crazy. I thought you were already 24. I'm sorry. I prefaced this with Tori before we started that I wrote this letter yesterday.
And I wrote mine a couple months ago to my couple months future self, and then I reread it last night. Like I was skimming through it, and I like, maybe someone really needs to hear that, but I don't feel like my current self needs to. So my future self doesn't need that right now. Does that make sense? Like my past,
so confusing.
my past self writing this was like, this is so good, but then my future self today was like, that's not that good.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's more English.
I think just because my brain is like on other things, which we'll get to as we talk about it. But yeah,
That's the point of writing a note to your future self.
because you don't know what's gonna happen.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yep, true.
So,
All right.
are we rock, paper, scissors in for this?
Who's going first? Yeah.
Is it whoever wins goes first or whoever wins?
I'm glad we're establishing that this
Yeah.
time. Whoever wins goes first.
Well, then I can just purposefully lose.
No, you
can't. I know you too well, girl. I know which one you're putting down. I'm just kidding. I wasn't
Do you
thinking.
know how rock, paper, scissors works?
Don't make me feel like an idiot.
You're going to purposefully lose rock, paper, scissors.
I just know which one you're going to put down, so.
Okay. Is it out of 1 or out of 3?
Best 2 out of 3.
I feel like I never do paper first.
I knew what you were putting down. Did that on purpose. Okay. Dear future me, hey, it's me from September 12th, 2025. I write this in a time of life that is so devastating to watch. James 4:13-15 says, "Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we'll go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that." Thinking about the future is something we all plan and hope for, but inevitably, I needed the accent, but inevitably, we don't know our future. We don't know all the good that will come, and we don't know all the bad. This week, I've watched 2 separate videos on social media of individuals' lives being taken. It makes me sick to think of what is happening in the world. It also makes me think of what Jesus went through for us. It breaks my heart to think of the reality of what these individuals just went through and the brutal death that Jesus also endured. I know it's easy to get caught up in the things happening around the world, but don't forget to look around now. I'm not sure what the future will hold, but I do know these things. I know that God has blessed you with so much, with the most amazing, caring, God-loving husband who loves you unconditionally. I know that you have the best support system who lifts you up during the good and the hard times, and I know that Jesus' love never fails and peace can always be found in him. Sorry if you just heard that gulp. We can't control the things that happen in this world because we were given the gift of free will. But we can control how we react, how we live, and how we treat others. We are called to be the light, so even when it feels like we're not making a difference, remember it's not about us, but all for the glory of God and, of course, for the one. To the future self, I pray that you continue to gain confidence in yourself and your calling on this earth. I know it's easy to get in your head and believe the lies that we aren't good enough, but keep pushing past that. Believe the words of those around you, and I know that God is proud of us because he created us and he loves his creation. Jesus lost his life for us, so to the future me, I say keep living for him. Be bold in your faith, never stop standing up for what's truth, and love unconditionally. XOXO, Abby of September 12th.
See, that's the hard part, like, because that's exactly where my mind is now, but like we mentioned, when you write it to your future self, you don't know
What is to come?
what is to come. And I wrote this about a month ago. Like, I wrote my past, or not my, actually, yeah, I think I wrote all 3 letters in the same day because I was just like in that headspace.
That's crazy.
And so reading
I wrote all
this-
mine the day before we recorded.
yeah. Which is good. I feel like that is applied well. But it's funny because
Is it good?
yeah,
I'm just a procrastinator.
Fair. But let me try to find this real quick. And I get the heart behind this, but it just feels so like off now because it isn't what I feel like we're like. I mean, I don't mind to read it now, but
I think you should read it because you never know
who might need to hear
who might
something
need
like
to hear
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It says, "Dear future self, you stress me out." Okay. "I have a lot of hope for who you will become, but I fear that you will let me down. You've always been this person who is so close but so far away that no matter how fast I sprint, I can never catch up to you. The very thought of you is exhausting. From the time that I was a little girl, it's always been about one day," which we talked a little about last week. "One day when I graduate, when I get a job, when I get the house, and so on, until the one day when I die. But past you messed all of that up on October 16th of 2018 when you got a second chance at life. I don't imagine that you're reading this too far ahead because I have a feeling, and I know that I shouldn't speak this over myself, but my survivor's guilt has convinced me to the core that you're not going to have a long life. I think that's why I'm so stressed to do all of the things at once, because I don't see much of a future ahead. It just stops at a certain point. I'm not afraid of losing you young. I'm much more afraid of getting past the expiration date that's in my mind. I've been trying my best to live my life like every day is my last ever since I almost died, so that I have less regrets on the day that I do breathe my last. I know that you know this, so I don't know why I'm telling you, but I think it's just as a reminder that you are not dead. So stop living fixated on the thought that your life is about to be over. If you check all of the boxes on the list to say, I've done it, then you're going to miss the best things that happen outside of the box, where life actually happens. I hope that on your way to get to where you are, you didn't stress yourself out the whole time. I hope that you enjoyed the simplistic moments. I hope that you really love your life. I hope you're actually happy and content, and I know that starts with me right now. So, I'm going to do my best to get us there. For you, I'm going to keep taking care of my body, working hard, spending time with my family, serving God, loving others, even on the days that I feel like giving up. I'm going to run away from short-term satisfaction and cheap dopamine so that you're able to thrive. It's so tempting to fall into the momentary pleasures that the world has to offer. But even though you stress me out, I still love you, and I will do my best to protect you. And, don't hold me to this, I will even consider dating, just in case I do live past the age of 30. I've been avoiding it because what's the point, if I'll die so young. So, save it, hold on. While I'm learning to not dwell on the future, I do need to think forward, just in case. I'm not loving you well if I'm closing off the chance for you to find someone to share life with. I know that you're going to hate me if you do end up making it to 100 years old and everyone who you love is dead, but your notes app is chilling with checked to-do list. So anyways, that's all that I have for you. The same God who took care of my future worries as they came will continue to do so. He's in the past, present, and future all at once, so I know that even if you don't meet the love of your life, you have the love of your eternity. I'm proud of you in whatever it is you will accomplish. More proud of you, though, for loving and serving God and others. There's no doubt in my mind that you will continue to do that. Whatever may come your way, you've got this, and God's going to walk alongside you the whole time. You've made it, and I'm proud of you. XOXO, your past self, because it's to your future self.
I really like how you talked about don't just be going through life and checking off the to-do list, because I think it's so easy to just, that's my whole my notes app is my life.
Yeah,
And so,
me
and
too.
I know that is for you as
Me
well.
too.
Like, if it's not checked off, like, it's just a stress in your mind over and over and over until it gets done, and then you're not enjoying the things around you. And it's so easy to just get caught up in that headspace, and it's just an awful revolving door. So I'm like, I don't know, I'm really glad that we wrote these letters, because it's very, like, even though we know that's how we shouldn't be living, it's very eye-opening to, like, now that we can keep each other accountable, or, like, in our minds know that it's not the best thing for us in the moments. So that was really good.
Thank you. And if you haven't watched last week's Present Self, I feel like so much of what I said in there we talked about last week, because the cure to like take your mind off of the future is just to be present and to be in the moment. And then you don't, yes, like have the goals and whatever, but if you're just constantly looking at the goals, you're not even going to realize that you've accomplished them. Like you're not going to be celebrating them because you're always going to be thinking about the next thing. And it's sad. Like, because on my phone, on my app, when I check a list, there's just a empty box right under it to check. Like I don't even get a moment to be like, I did it. I actually made it, or I've done the things. Yeah.
What's next?
What's next?
What do I have to stress myself about now?
Yep. Oh, that's done. Now time to stress about this, instead of being like, oh, I wasted time stressing, and like that was so amazing. Yeah. Mhm.
And you're going to consider dating?
I'm gonna see. I didn't say I was gonna date. I said I was gonna consider.
I can't even look at you.
Just because.
Who are you?
I'm not like ready to date, I don't think, but I'm gonna consider it just because. Okay, well, this was some good advice that I got, because sometimes we dwell so much on the future and like we're worried about it and we have to get to these points. And last week you had mentioned how you're like, I want to have a kid by like this age, and that could be scary because then you could just get with anyone to accomplish that goal and then end up like unfulfilled, unhappy. And so there's been times where I'm so fixated on like, these are the goals, these are the things I want to do in the future, until now there's that thought in my mind that's like, what's the point? You're not going to have a long future. And I was talking with one of the elders at our church. He checks in on me quite a bit, and he was talking to me, and he just said that he was worried about me. He's like, I feel like you are overworking yourself. And he said, I just don't want you to miss out on these like good years of your life. And he said, and I love, your heart for serving, and that you're always like, I never have to doubt that you're going to get your stuff done and that you're going to work really hard. And he said, but I'm afraid that you're going to look back and regret like working so much. And what if God is wanting you to find like someone special in your life to share that load with, and to pursue life and love and all of that. And I was like, I'll be honest with you, like I think I'm not, and I know, like, again, I don't want to speak this into existence or anything, but in my mind, it's like, I'm not going to live long, so I want to just do all the things, so then at the end of my life, I can feel super accomplished, just in case, because like at 17, I don't remember the day that I almost died, but I was told, I was saying like, I don't want to die, and so I don't want to ever feel like if it's my time to go, that I didn't do the things that God wanted me to do. So it's just so heavy on my heart that like I have to do the things, and I told him that to me is more important than falling in love or finding someone. Like my biggest fear, and because I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to die before I do this, or I don't want Jesus to come back before I do this. But to me, it's like, I feel like I have to get the things that he's put on my heart done. That's the most important thing to me, because I don't want to feel like, and I know he'll tell me, well done, good and faithful servant, but I want to feel like I gave my very, very, very best, put all on the field and left nothing. And I don't want a guy to distract me. But what if he could like be a good part to my story? I don't know. But anyways, the elder, he told me, he was like, I love that you are in a place where you're not like stressing too much about the future. He said, but you still need to look to the future. Like, yes, be present and work really hard, but I'm afraid you're going to get to be older. Like, what if you live past that date? And when he said that, I was like, oh, because I just hadn't thought about past like this certain age. And he said, no, but you got to think about that. What if you do, and you've accomplished all the things and you've worked really hard, and then you're like, and I never fell in love. And I was like, Well, that's sad. That's kind of sad. Like, I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
And I said, well, if I do live longer, I would regret it. Like, I think I really would. Right now, I don't feel like I would because I'm like young and have all of these aspirations and these dreams. But then when there comes a point when everyone I know isn't just married with kids, everyone's got grandkids, and I'm still single, then I'm kind of like, maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed something really great in my life. So I need to consider.
Yeah. Be open.
Be open.
Yeah.
But
I think that's good. And what you said in there about, like, how you get to the end of your life and you're like, I didn't accomplish this. Like, it takes me back to your car accident day. And that day, I don't know where you were at in the headspace, but, like, I know that you weren't in your hospital bed thinking, like, what if I didn't, like, if you would have died in that moment, it wouldn't have went through your head of, like, oh, I didn't finish this podcast episode and get it upload, like I didn't mark that off the list, or like I didn't accomplish this. And so, like, it's so easy to get caught up in your head until you get to that day. And like whenever I was heading to the hospital, it wasn't like a moment of, oh, we didn't get to do this together as friends. Like, I was going up there because like you're my friend and I loved you, and like I didn't want to endure life without like a good friend by my side. And so it's like, whenever you do reach those end goals, it's like important to remember that it's not going to be like the checklist in your head. Like, and so it's important to realize now that the checklists aren't the most important thing in our life to get done, because like it's okay to take in the moments and go enjoy the people around you, or go enjoy nature. Like, you know, yeah, not dwelling on what I need to get done.
that's good. I think it's just because I've always been told that, like, or just this thought. Even our girls had asked one time, like, when you almost died, did you see, like, a flash of your life? Because I've heard that you see kind of little snippets, like, moments. Sorry. But, like, memories and stuff that you've had, but also the things that you didn't kind of get. And just because I was so depressed at the time, and like a lot of times I didn't want to be here, and then I heard that I was screaming I didn't want to die, then I just have spent so long thinking, like, what was it that made me want to keep going? And now that I'm thinking, it probably was the people who I love. Like, that's why I wanted to keep going, so I could stay in like your life and stay in my mom's life, and like the rest, I mean, other people's lives too.
Those are the two
but
most
you know
important.
But when I was thinking that, the whole time in my mind, it's been all the things that, like, I didn't get to do up until literally this moment when I'm like, why would I have thought I don't want to die? It was probably for the people who I loved, but to me, it's been for all the things that I didn't do.
And God, like, he puts a calling on our lives, and he, like, wants us to glorify him in everything that we do, but also he wants us to enjoy his creation and what he's created around us. So, like, he doesn't want us to stress over the little things all the time. He wants us to take in and enjoy the birds and the trees and the things around us that he's created for us to enjoy, you know, and he wants us to fellowship with others. That's good.
Mm-hmm. I want to come back to your letter a bit, because that's, I mean, here's the thing, because this is coming out in the future. This isn't coming out for a couple of weeks, but in the week that we are currently living in, like, all of the events that you mentioned. So there was a Ukrainian woman on the train who was stabbed. Charlie Kirk has been shot. And there was a school shooting in Evergreen that injured 2 students. And then the suspect shot himself. Like, it has been a heavy, heavy week in the world.
And then remembering 9/11.
And remembering 9/11. And that's the thing. Remembering 9/11, but most people aren't remembering 9/11 right now because there's all of that that's happening. So who knows, in 2 weeks, like, I hate to even say this because it's such a tragic thing, but it's always the next, like, hot topic almost. And so, like, this is so heavy on our hearts right now. And part of me has wondered, in 2 weeks, is this relevant? Like, are people
Gonna still be?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's such a, yeah.
I was talking to one of Colton's grandparents yesterday, and we were talking about everything that's happened, and she was saying how, like, in this life there's people that go through, like, really traumatic experiences, like the school shooting. Like, if you hear gunshots, like, that's obviously, like, if you hear loud noises in the future, that's gonna, like, send you back to that moment, or, like, little things like that will send you back to where that moment is. The smell, like, all your senses and everything. And, like, it's so hard not to dwell on, like, what if it happens? Like, what if it happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And, like, be living in the present whenever you go through something really traumatic like that. And I feel like I don't even know why we're going on this. Like, it's just relevant right now, I guess. But I said that I saw those, like, 2 actual, like, things happening. Like, you see, like, the gore of, like, what actually happened.
The fact that we're so decent, like, that is just online.
And it
Where
like, has very much
it.
disturbed me. It's like, it almost makes you feel like you're there living in it. And it's like, our eyes aren't meant to see those things. And it's just so sad and so scary. But it's also important to look past and remember, like, what is God doing in this moment, and not saying, like, to forget, because if we just forget, then something else is going to happen. Like, we need to be proactive. And do I know the answer? No, I don't know the answers to that, but we can't just keep dwelling in those moments, or else they're just going to keep replaying in our head, and we're just going to be, like, miss out on the potential of what God has for us if we're just constantly replaying, like, a bad thing in our head. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've been thinking about it a lot too, and, like, I didn't think my letter correlated with it, but it kind of does, because if I want to, like, everybody's going to have an end to their life, and it's going to look different for a lot of people. Charlie's was so immediate. I don't even know that he got a moment to think of, like, the regrets or the hopes or the flashback of his life, but he died doing the thing that God placed on his heart to do. Like, he didn't back down. He was bold. He was courageous. And here's the thing. Some of his videos, I don't agree with everything, and not even with his approach. Like,
and we're not going to agree with anyone.
Yeah,
everyone says.
You're not going to agree with everything that anybody says. But that was the truth that he felt the Lord had placed on his heart, and he died for it.
It's so sad.
Mm-hmm. It's so sad. And that it showed the corruption of our world, because the people who are rejoicing over it, you shouldn't rejoice over anyone. And I don't care what your political views are, if you believe or don't believe in what he's saying. If no one's diving, yeah, I'm not even going to get too far into that.
That's a whole other
topic. But
yeah.
It's just sad. Yeah. And everybody is worried. Everybody is kind of scared for the condition of the world whenever stuff like that happens. And rightfully so. Like, yeah. I don't know. It made me kind of, this is something that's been on my heart for a bit, because not that we said anything that was wrong, but I've just been feeling convicted. It was our episode about, like, are you ready for war, when we were talking about spiritual warfare, and how the things that happen here, like, they matter, but eternity is, like, what matters the most, because it's eternity, it's forever. And I still believe that wholeheartedly, but I feel like the approach in the words that I said, it's not like someone could have taken a video and chopped it and made it sound bad. It was me. Like, it was my actual words and the things that I was saying, that as I was editing, I'm like, God, I think I might have said something in there that wasn't, like, pleasing to you, just because I don't like to get too caught up in that, because it's devastating, and, like, I want, again, to, like, be present here. I don't want to be constantly worried about the future, worried about the wars, the rumors of wars, all of this. But when you see a video like that and it becomes so personal, and you realize, like, the men who are out there fighting for our freedoms to do things like this, we have a podcast about our faith that we get to just post online. We get to come to church, we get to pray, we get to worship, we have, like, all of these freedoms. What we saw in a video, stuff like that is happening every single day. We just don't see it. And it's a person, it's a life, he's a father, he's a husband. Like, this stuff is so serious, and yes, you need to have your mindset on eternity. Like, don't get too caught up in that to where you forget that there's a life after this one. But if God's people aren't standing up and aren't talking about it, then we're the vessels that are placed here to be his voice. You know what I mean? And that's what Charlie did. Like, to the point of death, he was a vessel to speak about the politics and the hard things and the controversial stuff, and, like, in a world that did not accept that. But had we not had that, like, I don't know.
In my letter, I wrote about that too, how, like, I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that you can be a light. I do know that you can control how you react to what you do and what you say and all these things. And it's like, I didn't know that was going to happen, but I do know now that I can be a voice, that I can be a light, and sharing the love of Jesus even more to others around us. And if we're not doing that, the other side is going to become heavier and be more victorious over us. And where there's light, darkness can't shine. And so we have to be the light that shines over the darkness.
That's true. That's true. And I even think about, like, when there's wars and stuff on other sides of the world, and I've never had this thought, but when people are thinking, like, if that doesn't have, like, oh, if that's not happening here, or that, I don't think people would verbally say that, but if you're not taking action to help, like, it's your own kids, your own family, your own people, you're acting that out like it doesn't matter because it's not happening here. Does that make sense? Like, when you see that there are bombings and kids are left without parents, and there's, like, people on the side of the road, and the world is going up into corruption, and we're so desensitized because we're just handed it on our phones, and it's just another post, and you scroll past it, and it's like, that's so heartbreaking. That is not how God intended it to be, because Jesus was the most compassionate person, and he stopped for everyone, but we're able to just see, like, clip after clip after clip, and then, like, random funny videos and dancing videos, and it's all just in, like, one stream of line, to where you don't see it and you don't stop and think, I should donate to that. I should help a person who's in need. And if God's people, like, you hope that everyone in the world is moved by that, but if God's people aren't moved by that and we don't do it, then who are we expecting to? Like, we're supposed to be the ones that do, so that people look at us and think, like, I want whatever they have, that they're so on fire that they don't even have much money in their wallet, but they're giving anyways. Like, that's through our actions and through our words, people are supposed to be seeing a love that points them to God, but instead we become the people a lot of times who get too wrapped up in our little bubbles and focused on it. Sometimes we can be too focused on eternity, that in the future that we, like, don't see the things that are happening right in front of us, and God is like, stop and look and help someone, because that's actually what's going to lead them to me. Not your courageous words, but your actions and your love and your money, your support. Like, we have resources that a lot of them don't have. Even our poorest people are richer than many of the people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We can't be expecting of someone else to go do and share the love of Jesus. Like, we have to be the ones, because you can't control everybody else. You can only control yourself and what you do for the kingdom.
Because have you ever seen something and thought, like, man, I just wish someone would, like, do something about that?
When you said that, the amount of things that just rolled through my head, that I was like, oh, someone else will give. And, like, it doesn't have to be me, but, like, if you don't give, who is? Like, you know, if you're thinking that, who else is thinking that?
If everyone thinks someone else will give.
Yeah. It's so sad. Yeah. Thanks for opening my eyes.
You're welcome. It's hard. It's humbling, but it's true and it's honest. And I think going on mission trips and seeing people in other parts of the world and realizing that, like, I don't have to go across the world to help them. There are certain things that pop up on my For You page that, what if God's calling me to help them? And I don't even have to be there. I don't even have to show up. I just have to send something. Then why would I say no? Yeah. And you do need to look into that, though, because sometimes there are people who scam, and there really are. So you, like, find reliable sources, but there are ways to help. And I think that's the most important thing. There are ways to help, because when you see all of this stuff, and, like, when you do start to look into the things that are happening in our world, you can just think, I'm so helpless. Like, I'm so small. It's just me. I wish I could do something. Like, it can drive you into a depression, honestly, to be like, there's so much bad in the world, and I don't feel like I can do anything. The little amount you can do, if everyone thought, I can do a little bit, then we could do a lot collectively as the body of Christ. We're a body. We're not called to put this all on ourselves individually.
And honestly, like, if you don't have money to give, you can always share love. And it's like, most people have a phone, and, like, if you're watching us, you don't know how many people, like, message us or send a comment or something, and it's, like, so encouraging, and it's like, wow, we should keep doing this, because, like, you can see God's fruit from it. And, like, if it weren't for those people, we probably wouldn't still be here, you know? Like, if it wasn't for the one person that was like, hey, like, this has changed my life, like, through God speaking through you girls, like, I'm changing, like, you know. And so it's like, if you can't give money or if you can't do these things, like, share some love, like, leave a comment, go to a nursing home, go love on somebody, you know. And like, everybody just needs a little more love.
Because that's so true. I mean, we're not making money through the podcast. That's a lie. On TikTok, we made like $2.
$2 or $4.
I was probably $4, because then divided between us, it was $2. And we were like, this is crazy. So in that, it's like, whoa, that's wild. But the things that we rejoice about the most are the one, like the comment that someone will leave, and then we'll show each other and be like, did you see this? Like, what we're doing is helping someone. This is the evidence that, like, God has told us to do it. Not the $4 that are sitting in our bank account, but the fact that, like, someone felt the need to tell us. Like, I don't feel like I comment on a lot of things. Felt the need to type it out, post it, send it, and then tell us how it was helping them. Then it's like, wow. Yeah. With your words, with your actions, you can do a lot. You can change somebody's life, for sure. Yeah, that's good.
So, to our future selves, be more giving, loving, and caring.
Generous, kind, loving.
Yeah.
As we're talking about all of this and the heaviness of it, we were talking before, and I just feel it on my heart to mention it, because anytime things like this happen, people blow up socials and say, like, Jesus is coming back anytime soon.
As
like,
a threat.
He's on his way. Yeah, as a threat, or as it's to scare you almost. I think some of them are doing it to encourage, but people go into panic. And so I don't know.
It's
Go
like
ahead.
almost like, why would you want to follow someone whenever it seems so scary, like they're coming back, you know? And like, when people are like posting like, Jesus is coming back, like, you're screwed pretty much. And it's like, that's not how we should be thinking. Like, in the Bible, when it talks about it, it's like the most glorious day, because Jesus comes back to like take us home with him. And it's like, it shouldn't be a scary thought. And honestly, I lived most of my life being terrified of that. And I feel like that was like a lot of my faith, was being scared of, like, if I die or if Jesus comes back, like, I want to go to heaven. I obviously don't want to go to hell. And so, like, that was like almost a scare factor. But now, like, I feel like I've gotten past that. And it's like, what a glorious day that will be whenever Jesus comes to take us home. Do I, like, in this world right now, do I feel like I want that to happen? Probably not, because there's so many people that don't know the love of Jesus, and that's just a terrifying thought that all these people aren't going to go to heaven with us. And it's like, gosh, that's so scary. But like, also, if he does, that was perfectly in his timing, and he knew exactly what he was doing, you know?
Yeah, that's the most important thing, because I've thought about that too. When I hear about Jesus coming back, and you always see the comments and stuff, and this is what our girls were heavy on for a while, like, but I just want to experience life. Like, I want to fall in love. I want to get married. I want to have kids. And one of our girls was like, I want the full circle. Like, I just can't wait to be a grandma. And we were like, you're in 8th grade. Do you remember that?
But I get that, though.
She's like, I want to experience life and all the things. But truly, I believe to live is Christ. To die is gain. So if you want to experience life, true life is only found in Jesus. Like, we've checked off some of the boxes and realized, like, that was cool, but that's not the ultimate fulfillment. At the end of the day, it's always Jesus. So I understand the fear of, I want to, like, have these things. I want to do these things. But even in my letter, when I was like, God, even if I don't fall in love, like, here on this earth, if I don't meet the love of my life, I have the love of my eternity. Like, I'm already secure. I'm already locked in. Like, I have Jesus. So to me, that's not a fear anymore. I'm like, if I die and I never experience, like, romantic love on this side of heaven, or, well, not on the other side of heaven either. But if I never experience a, like, romantic type love, then I'm content and I'm okay with that, because I know a love that is deep and, like, all-encompassing, the agape kind of love that it talks about in the Bible that can only be found in God. I know love because God is love. Like, I don't feel like I need that anymore. So my fear is not, what if God comes back before I meet the person, have the family, become a grandma, or even, like, mine used to be before I accomplished the things. But now my fear is, like, what if God comes back before these people know about him And I think if you're a Christian, that should be your fear. It should not be, and I get it, like it's a valid fear. It's taken me a while to get on the other side of it, but it shouldn't be, what if I don't get to experience these things? It should be, what if they don't get to experience Jesus? They don't get to eternity. They don't know God's love. Like, I'm worried about the things of my life, but I need to be worrying about their eternity, or that they experience true life in Jesus on this side of heaven. That should be our fear of the world ending, because there are a lot of people who don't know.
Mm-hmm. I would honestly do like a heart check with yourself, because that was me for a long time. I used to tell you, like, I want to get married before Jesus comes back. And like in that moment, I should have known, like, what is this relationship with Jesus? Is it just a game at this moment? Because like I'm trying to outwin him, like coming back, or like something happening to me or the person I love, you know? And so like do a heart check and thinking of like, I want to make sure that the people around me are locked into going to heaven, and like I can share as much as I can, and God willing that they can all come to heaven with me, not just for my gain on this earth, you know?
A heart check. Like, why am I even in this with Jesus if I'm just trying to, like, just so that he walks alongside me as I accomplish the things that I hope to do? That's my goal.
It's like getting into a marriage and it's like, oh, I just want to have a baby with him. And then it's like, are you just using that person to have a kid? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know your motive. And so do a heart check and like why you're in a relationship, because with Jesus, it is a true relationship. It's not just something that you're going through this life just to secure us upon an eternity. Like, he wants to have a relationship with you, not just be your dog that you're walking along with him, you know? So.
Whew. Conviction today in the house of the Lord. Dear future self. Heart check. Yeah.
So, if you're listening to this and you're like, what the heck should I do about my future? Go back and watch it again. Start from the top. No, but really, like, as we have encouraged you guys to do with all the other letters, write a letter to your future self and go back and read it in the future. And honestly, like, these have been really good to reflect in the now and what we're doing right now in every moment that we are blessed with. And are we taking it for granted? Are we using it to its fullest capacity?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think I want to close in prayer today, just over our world and over the future of whoever's listening, like their personal life. Do you want to pray too, or you want me to just close this out?
You just pray it up, girl.
Okay, I'll pray it up. Hey God, I just want to thank you for today, for a day that was given to us, not promised by you, as every day in the future is, God. I just thank you for bringing us this far, and I'm not just talking about me and Abby. I'm talking about the person on the other side of the screen. I just thank you that they were given another day, and that with that day, they chose to listen to a podcast by a couple of girls who would just like to yap. I thank you for life, for the fullness of it. I thank you for all the little things that we take for granted. And I just pray that you open our eyes, Lord, to the things around us, so that even if we've wasted many moments in our past and our present in stress and in worry and full of anxiety, that we're able to take that, get a hold of that now, and that in our future, God, we're able to just enjoy you and enjoy life and enjoy all of the people who you've placed in our lives. I just want to pray today over our nation, God, over our country, and over our world. God, this world that you hold in your hands, that you formed at the beginning of time, that you know how it got here and you know how it's going to end, and you know when it's going to end, and only you know the hour. So I just pray that you help us to trust you in your divine plan, and that when the time has come, and when it comes, it is exactly when you need it to be. So help us to let go of the fear of, what if God comes back before I blank, whatever that may be, and help us to just be like, God, what if you come back before I reach these people? Help us to be aware of the people who you've placed in our path to lead to you, to show your love, to show your goodness, to help out, to be generous, to be kind, to be loving, to be bold, God, to have a faith that is worth dying for, God, to love you so deeply that above all else, we just want to speak your word and your truth, not our truth, not the truth of the world, God, but the ultimate truth that only you hold. And I pray over our nation, God, just that you give us a sense of peace that is beyond understanding, that can only be found in you, and that we become a nation under God again, like we never have before, that we reunite, that we come together, and that people look at your people, the people of God, and they see something different. They see you, they see love, and a love that they long to have and desire for, and that we rush the process of you coming back because we're so on fire and we're bringing more people to you every single day. I just pray over all the parts of the world that we don't even know are hurting, are going through things, when we get so caught up in our little America bubble and the tragedies that are happening here. I pray that you open our eyes and that you help us to love those even from afar, and be able to add value and love to their life with the resources that we're given here. I just thank you for everything that you've done and everything that we know you will do and that we have no clue that you're going to do. We trust you. We praise you. It's in your amazing, precious, holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Ow. And that's a close.